Most people do the same exercises week after week, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it can make your workouts feel stale and leave serious gains on the table. So today, I'm going to share 5 exercises that almost nobody does. These aren't gimmicky tricks either. They're time-tested movements with real science behind them that I personally do every single week, and I think you should too. We'll start with one that's fairly simple, and then as we go, they'll get more and more unusual. I'd say maybe 20% of you have done exercise 1 at some point, but I'd bet less than 1% of you have ever even tried exercise 5. I think they're all worth doing. Just remember that training consistently and training smart matters more than the exact exercises you pick. Okay, the first exercise is a simple way to improve your shoulder health. Grow your forearms, increase core strength, decompress your spine, and build serious grip endurance. It's the dead hang. And if you've never tested your max dead hang time, try it next time you hit the gym. Most people can't hang for more than 30 seconds when they first try it, but within a few weeks of practice, you can double or even triple that number. Dead hangs open up the shoulder joint, allowing the tendons and muscles of your rotator cuff to move more freely, which can help with shoulder pain relief. And if your back feels stiff from sitting all day at a desk, you'll get some spinal decompression too. The scientific evidence on this is mixed, but I personally get massive relief from it, especially in the days following heavy squats or deadlifts when my spine feels compressed. Here's how to do them right. Use a bench if you can't reach the bar and grip it just outside shoulder width. Now this will seem backwards, but try to take a looser grip initially so your forearms don't fatigue too quickly. Once you start to slip, then start gripping harder. This is like pacing yourself in a race. If you're doing these for max time, brace your core, but don't flex so hard that you tire yourself out. If you're doing them for spinal decompression, start with a braced core and then gradually let your hips sink down and stretch out. Your legs should hang straight down. I find keeping my feet together and pointing my toes down helps keep me from swinging. From there, just focus on keeping a consistent breathing rhythm. Don't try to hold your breath or you'll gas out fast. Try it and see how long you can hang. If you can't dead hang with body weight yet, use a resistance band for assistance by looping it around the bar and stepping into it. Or you can use an assisted pull-up machine. Start with 3 sets of whatever time you can hold, 2 or 3 times per week. Within a month, you'll be shocked at how much your grip strength improves and how much better your shoulders feel during pressing movements. Next exercise is one that builds incredible leg strength, improves knee health, and develops hip mobility that most people lose as they age. It's the duck walk. Now, I know what you're thinking. This looks silly, I get it, but don't let the appearance fool you, because this movement is absolutely incredible for building functional leg strength and protecting your knees from injury. High school and college athletes do these regularly for a reason. They work. Here's why duck walks are so effective. They keep your legs under constant tension the entire time. There's no rest at the top like with regular squats. Your quads, glutes, and calves have to work continuously to keep you moving forward. This builds serious muscular endurance and burns like crazy. They also strengthen the muscles around your knees in a way that protects the joint. A lot of knee pain comes from weak stabilizer muscles, and duck walks fix that problem. Plus, they improve ankle mobility and hip flexibility at the same time, which makes you move better in every other exercise you do. For the technique, start by squatting down as low as you comfortably can. Your heels should stay flat on the ground if possible. Keep your chest up and your core tight. Now, while staying in that low squat position, start walking forward. Take small steps and try to keep your hips at the same height the entire time. Don't let yourself stand up between steps. That's cheating and defeats the purpose. Your arms can come out in front of you for balance. Walk forward for 20 to 30 feet, or if you don't have that much space, walk 10 feet forward and then 10 feet backward. Rest for about a minute, then do another set. Start with just 2 or 3 sets. Your legs will be screaming after the first time you try these. If squatting all the way down is too hard right now, start with a higher squat position and gradually go lower as your strength and mobility improve over the weeks. The beauty of duck walks is that they're self-limiting. You can only go as low and as far as your body allows, so there's built-in safety. Within a few weeks of doing these consistently, you'll notice your regular squats feel easier, your knees feel more stable, and everyday activities like climbing stairs or getting up from a chair become effortless. Okay, the next exercise is a game changer for hip mobility, inner thigh strength, and overall leg development. It's the Cossack squat. These were popularized by Russian and Eastern European athletes, and they build the kind of functional strength and mobility that keeps you moving well for decades. Most people have incredibly tight hips and weak adductors, the muscles on the inside of your thighs, and Cossack squats fix both problems at once. Here's how they work. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width, toes pointing slightly out. Shift your weight to one leg and sit back into a deep squat on that side while keeping the other leg straight. Your straight leg should have the toes pointing up toward the ceiling. Go as low as you can while keeping your heel flat on the squatting side. At the bottom, you should feel a deep stretch in your inner thigh on the straight leg side and a strong contraction in the glutes and quads on the squatting side. Push through your heel to return to the starting position, then repeat on the other side. That's 1 rep. Start with just your body weight and focus on getting the movement pattern right. Once you can do 10 reps per side with good form, you can add weight by holding a dumbbell or kettlebell at your chest. These will feel awkward at first because most people don't move side to side very often, but stick with it. The mobility gains you'll get are incredible. Your hips will feel loose and mobile. You'll notice better range of motion in your squats and deadlifts. And your inner thighs will actually get strong, which helps with knee stability and prevents groin strains. A lot of people deal with hip pain and stiffness as they get older, and it's because they stop moving through full ranges of motion. Cossack squats force you to maintain and even improve that mobility. Do these twice a week, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side, and I guarantee your hips will feel 10 years younger within a month. Now, before I show you the last 2 exercises, let me mention something that can make all of this work even better. If you're dealing with stiffness, limited mobility, or you feel like your body just isn't moving the way it used to, I created something specifically for that problem. It's called Reboot Your Body, a 30-day program that focuses on restoring the movement and flexibility most of us lose over time. It's designed for people who want to feel strong and move without pain or restriction. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. It pairs perfectly with these exercises because when your body moves better, you can actually perform these movements correctly and get way better results. Alright, now we're getting into the really unusual stuff. This next exercise builds serious quad strength, protects your knees, and improves knee health in a way that almost nothing else does. It's the reverse Nordic curl. Now, traditional Nordic curls work your hamstrings by lowering yourself forward from a kneeling position. Reverse Nordics do the opposite. They work your quads by leaning backward from a kneeling position, and they're absolutely brutal in the best way possible. Here's why these are so effective. They strengthen your quads through a lengthened position, which research shows is incredibly effective for muscle growth. They also strengthen the tendons around your knees, which helps prevent knee pain and reduces your risk of injury. A lot of people develop knee problems because their quads are weak in that stretched position, and reverse Nordics fix that weakness. Plus, they improve your posture by strengthening the muscles that keep your hips extended and your spine upright. For the technique, kneel on a pad or soft surface with your knees about hip-width apart. Keep your body in a straight line from your knees to your head. Now slowly lean backward while keeping that straight body position. Don't bend at your hips. Your entire body should move as one unit. Lower yourself back as far as you can control, then use your quads to pull yourself back up to the starting position. If you can't control the descent yet, use your hands behind you for support. Just touch the ground lightly to stop yourself from falling, then push off to help yourself back up. Most people can only lean back a few inches when they first try these. That's completely normal. Over time, as your quad strength improves, you'll be able to lean further and further back. Eventually, you might even be able to touch your back to the ground and pull yourself back up, which is an incredible display of quad strength. Start with just 2 sets of 5 reps and add reps gradually over the weeks. These will make your quads stronger, your knees more stable, and your legs more resilient to injury. They're also fantastic for people dealing with knee pain because they strengthen the exact muscles that support and protect the knee joint. Alright, let's finish with the least known exercise on my list. This one looks absolutely wild, but it's one of the best movements you can do for hip mobility, core strength, and overall body control. It's the Shinbox switch. This movement comes from martial arts and gymnastics training, and it builds the kind of hip mobility and rotational core strength that most people completely lack. Here's why Shinbox switches are so effective. They force your hips to rotate internally and externally, which are movements most people never train. This improves hip health and reduces the risk of hip problems down the road. They also build rotational core strength, which protects your spine and improves your ability to twist and turn without pain. Plus, they're incredible for balance and coordination because you have to control your body through an unusual movement pattern. For the technique, sit on the ground with both knees bent at 90 degrees. Your front shin should be roughly perpendicular to your body, and your back shin should be roughly parallel to your body. Both hips should be on or near the ground. This is called the Shinbox position. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You're going to rotate your entire body to switch which leg is in front. As you rotate, lift your hips slightly off the ground, sweep your legs around, and land in the Shinbox position on the other side. Your back leg becomes your front leg, and vice versa. This will feel incredibly awkward at first. Most people have such tight hips that they can barely get into the Shinbox position, let alone switch from side to side. If that's you, start by just sitting in the Shinbox position on each side for 20 to 30 seconds to improve your hip mobility. Once you can sit comfortably in that position, practice the switching movement slowly. Use your hands on the ground for support if you need to. As your hips loosen up and your core gets stronger, you'll be able to switch smoothly without using your hands at all. Do 3 sets of 10 switches per side, twice a week. Within a month, your hip mobility will improve dramatically. You'll notice better rotation in your golf swing or tennis stroke if you play those sports. Your lower back will feel better because your hips are moving properly instead of forcing your spine to compensate, and you'll just move more fluidly in general because your body has relearned how to rotate through your hips instead of your lower back. Now, you might be wondering why I picked these 5 specific exercises instead of hundreds of other movements out there. It comes down to a few key factors. First, they all target movement patterns and muscle groups that most people completely neglect. Your grip and shoulder health from dead hangs. Your knee strength and stability from duck walks. Your hip mobility and inner thigh strength from Cossack squats. Your quad strength in a lengthened position from reverse Nordic curls. Your hip rotation and core stability from Shinbox switches. These are all areas where typical gym goers leave massive gains on the table. Second, they all have minimal overlap with standard exercises. If you're already doing regular squats, deadlifts, presses, and rows, these 5 movements fill in the gaps perfectly without adding redundant work. Third, they're all relatively joint-friendly when done correctly. Dead hangs actually improve shoulder health rather than beating it up. Duck walks strengthen your knees instead of wearing them down. Cossack squats restore hip mobility that prevents injury. Reverse Nordic curls protect your knees by strengthening the supporting muscles. Shinbox switches improve hip health and reduce lower back stress. Let me give you some practical programming advice for incorporating these into your routine. You don't need to do all 5 in the same workout. That would be overkill and you'd be there all day. Instead, spread them throughout your weekly training split. Add dead hangs at the end of your upper body days, maybe 3 sets of max time hangs with 2 minutes rest between sets. Throw in duck walks at the beginning of your leg day as part of your warm-up, 2 to 3 sets of 20 to 30 feet. Include Cossack squats on your leg day, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side. Program reverse Nordic curls after your main quad work, 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. And finish your workout with Shinbox switches as part of your cooldown, 3 sets of 10 switches per side. The biggest mistake people make with unusual exercises like these is dismissing them because they look weird or different. I get it. When you first see someone doing duck walks or Shinbox switches, it looks strange. But remember, effectiveness isn't determined by how normal an exercise looks. It's determined by how well it trains the target muscles and movement patterns while minimizing injury risk. These 5 exercises check all those boxes. Another mistake is trying to progress too quickly. These movements require practice to get the technique right and time for your body to adapt. Start conservatively. Focus on perfect form and gradually progress over weeks and months. Your ego might want you to do more immediately, but your joints and muscles will thank you for being patient. 6 months from now, you could be the one with healthy shoulders from dead hangs, stable knees from duck walks, mobile hips from Cossack squats, strong quads from reverse Nordic curls, and fluid rotation from Shinbox switches, but only if you actually add these movements to your training and stay consistent with them. Don't just watch this, think it's interesting, and then never actually try them. That's what most people do. Be different. Pick 2 or 3 of these exercises, add them to your next workout, and see how they feel. I guarantee you'll notice a difference within just a few weeks. Your body will respond to these new movement patterns, you'll start seeing improvements in areas that have been stubbornly limited, and you'll probably enjoy your training more because these exercises add variety and challenge to your routine. The movements might look unusual, but the results are absolutely real.